It's a good day to you all, our lovely viewers. This is snailry-gh. I'm back again to your screens with another update, and today I want us to look at a very important topic. And as always, this video will be very brief. Today I want us to look at how to maintain the color of your snails. Now, there are a lot of factors that can account to the changing color of your snails. I mean the shells. One of the major factors is lack of calcium. But calcium is not always the cause for the change in color of the shells of the snails. Now, let's have a look at this snail. You see the change in color. Now, this particular snail is a jumbo size snail, and this snail would be around 3.5 years. Now, this snail, as normally as they age, depending on the situation or the environment they are in, they are sometimes likely going to change. You see this problem predominantly in the intensive system. For my friends who practice the intensive system, normally you have challenges with this particular. You would have challenges with it along the line. You notice it, and there's a little solution to it. You can give your snail 3 bags of calcium, and you still have this. You can give your snails all the calcium in your world. You can give them snail shell, egg shell, whatever. I mean, all the rich source of calcium you can give to the snail, and the snail will still have a bit of change in the color. Now, it's not always, this is just to tell you that it's not always about the calcium. It's not always about the calcium. It's about the environment the snails find themselves in. Now, if you are practicing the intensive system, always try and make sure that when you are pouring water or when you are introducing water into your pens, try your best and do not pour water directly on the snails. You see, always try and have that roughage that leaves in the structure, so that when the snails are under, you just pour the water on the leaves. Then the water can take time to touch the base of the structure. Don't pour water directly on snails. When you keep pouring water directly on your snails, after some time you notice the change in color. Yes, after some time, when you do it over a period of time, you notice the change in color. So whenever you are introducing water into your pens, try and make sure that you do not pour water directly on the shells of the snails. If you do this for a very long time continuously, you notice the change in color of the shells of the snails. Doing the extensive system or the greenhouse system, you see this sometimes, not always, but sometimes you do see this. And basically, it's not about calcium too. It's not about lack of calcium. No, it's not about lack of calcium. It's about the conditions. Normally, when snails age, depending on the environment they find themselves in, they are likely going to have some of these things. Not all the time, but sometimes. Sometimes it could be lack of calcium, but not always as a result of lack of calcium. No. Now, for my friends who practice the extensive system, which is the greenhouse system, what you can do to curb this is when you notice that a portion of the structure has less vegetation, try and do more planting at that spot to get that area or that enclave also growing to a certain stage. Aside that, sometimes to try and get good shading. For people who practice the intensive system, always try and make sure that wherever your structure is, there is enough covering. There is enough covering or shade. Like, make sure that it's enough. Other than that, when sunlight hits the pens directly and penetrates into the structure, over time it also causes this problem. So the idea is the snails at least should have a place to hide. The whole idea is that at least the snails should have a place to hide, and the sunlight should not hit directly on their shells, or the sprinkling of the water should not hit directly on their shells. That is the main thing. Aside the calcium, is the sunlight and the water. When the water hits directly on their shells for a longer period of time, it also creates that feeling or that change in color. And when the sunlight also hits their shell for a very longer period of time, it also creates that feeling or that change in color. Good feeding. When the snails are not fed properly, or when they are fed on a particular diet for a very long time, they sometimes also develop this change in color. So sorry, I'm back. I had to change my position because the wind was disturbing me. So as I was saying, now if you put your snails on a particular diet for a very long time, it also has that effect on the snails. So let's say for example you are doing pawpaw leaves. You do pawpaw leaves every single day, every single day, every single day pawpaw leaf for a very long time. It gets to a point that it will have a toll on the snails. So what you want to do is you always want to give them that variety. Today you are doing pawpaw leaves, the next day you are doing the taro leaves, the next day you are doing boko boko, the next day. So when you give them that variety, it also helps in their growth as well. So you don't want to stick to a particular feed that you'll be doing for your snails all the time. No, it also has a toll on the effect. So it's not always about calcium, it's not always lack of calcium, it's the circumstance or the environment the snail finds itself in. So one has to do with direct sunlight hitting the shells of the snail, and the other has to do with direct water on the shells of the snow. So when you do that, after a period, that is when you have this issues with the shells of the snows. However, if you're able to remedy this and you are giving them good feed, I don't think you should have issues with the shells of the snows. That is it. That is all I would want to talk about. So till I come your way another time, it's a bye bye from us all.